The Jolt. Go! With Larry Flick on Sirius XM OutQ.
Classic music by Alison Moyet. That's Invisible from her iconic album, Elf. It is 5 past the hour on this Tuesday morning, September 1st. I'm Larry Flick. You're listening to The Jolt on Sirius XM OutQ. It's 80s Music Tuesday. Great songs from the me decade all morning long. We want to thank Jess Bisak from the Spectrum 28 for joining us and encourage you to not only listen to Spectrum, but also check out Yacht Rock, which is going to run through Labor Day weekend. And I say petition SiriusXM and tell them that you want it year-round. It's a fun station. All right, we are so delighted to welcome to our studio. She's so cute. I can't take how cute she is.
I know, right?
We're talking about you like you're not here. Alycia Debnam-Carey is joining us. You know her from, well, she's actually, you are human, right?
I am.
She is like the queen of sci-fi.
I know, right?
At the moment. You can see
it's my
her.
genre of choice.
It is your genre. Yeah. She, you know her from the CW show The 100, and she's also featured in the new Runaway hit, Fear the Walking Dead, which airs Sundays on AMC.
Yeah.
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you guys.
It is a bit interesting that you have a great resume, but your breakout parts are these otherworldly pieces.
Yeah.
Why is that, do you think?
I mean, I think the theme is very relevant right now, and it's kind of in every genre I've been seeing. Every form of media I've been seeing recently. Like every movie, TV shows. Like look at the last kind of run of films, like Mad Max, Tomorrowland. Like that whole post-apocalyptic vibe is just very there, and I think it's very much in our zeitgeist at the moment. That what we're doing to our planet, and a lot of those are human causes, and so it's just a relevant topic that I think humans are fascinated by, maybe morbidly so, and so it just seems to be quite a prominent issue. So yeah, most scripts, a lot of scripts I get sent actually have that theme in it. That
really?
Yeah, because if you look at something like in the 50s, they had so much more a perception of technology is a new future and as a source of growth and ambition and inspiration, and now it's all about the destruction of humanity and how many different ways we could destroy ourselves. And
it's true. It's funny because I will confess that for the longest time, it's a genre that wasn't appealing to me, and now I just feel sucked into it because more and more of these pieces, and I believe this about the two that you're involved in, actually have something to say.
Yeah.
Which is new.
Yeah.
At least it feels new to me. It feels less gratuitous and more, you're going to get what you need in terms of the visuals, but you're also you need a good actor because there's actual content to play.
Yeah.
So that's got to be satisfying for you.
It's so great as, an actor to be able to have something that is both intellectually stimulating but also so fun to do. Because, it's great stunts and incredibly that gory. I mean, I'm not a huge horror fan, but being on this set, it's actually quite a fun environment to be around because the way that they do the makeup and they create this other universe is quite extraordinary. So to have that creativity and that intellectual capacity at the same time is I'm very fortunate to be a part of that. And I think you're right. It is the amount of people I've run into that have said, I'm just fascinated with survival and zombies. And how do I survive if I'm ever in that position? There's that theme is constantly in people's minds.
Because I watch it and I don't necessarily think this could happen, but I do watch it and think some form of the necessity to survive.
Yeah. And what would you do? Or could you do that? I don't know.
I do believe that we could see something in our lifetime that requires us to adapt to a world and a life very different than the one we live right now.
Absolutely.
And that's what sort of makes these shows a little bit more creepy. If you're less tuned into the visuals and more into the soul, these are very frightening pieces.
Yes.
And they're kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
Do they drain you to play because again, both of these pieces have words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I agree with you.
Because I love, and I think I'm a part of a large new audience for this genre. We love words.
Yeah, and I think what's so great about Fear the Walking Dead too is there is because it starts out a little bit slower. There is room for that. A real human dynamic, because the original is based off a comic book series, so
right.
the characters are immediately more action hero like, and there's a kind of a capacity already to deal with weapons, and killing people or zombies is not as weighing on the conscious, I guess. But with this, it's about building a relationship with family, and then deconstructing that, and then how it affects a community too, because it's also like a multi-racial national show that is about a basic community. It's not about sheriffs, it's about teachers and students, and so it does affect the regular individual. It's so much more relatable that way, I think. And then same with the 100 deals with its own unique kind of concepts, because it has a lot of LGBT influences going on there, but at the same time it's this brand new universe, and so it doesn't even associate it like it's this thing, in quotation marks. What
Yeah,
I'm doing here.
Well, that's what's so interesting
Yeah.
about the 100 actually, is that it introduces the idea that there could be a new world order.
Without labeling
with
these
proper
things.
equality.
Yes,
and that's what I think about when I watch it.
Yeah, me too. And also the representation of females on that. It's one of the few shows I've seen that actually has a predominantly female lead cast, which is, I just think, extraordinary. And the fan basis around that is so strong, and it's just there's that scale, I can't remember for the life of me right now, where it weighs movies and medias against one another for how they represent females in the media.
Yes.
And it's whether one female is talking to another female in any given scene, or if it's not about a man, or if it's more than two females in one scene or something like that.
I know the name of what the scale you're talking about, and
Yeah.
I can't remember it off the top of my
I know,
head.
and it's so, like, more than 50% of movies fail the test.
Yes.
And so when I found out about that, I started realizing it so much more. And this show, what is so great about it is it's just what should be a normal representation. Like, it's a great show with a great female cast, and it's a strong show. So I mean, if both shows are such
They
a
are.
great
They
thing
are
to be part
indeed.
of.
It's a feast. It's a feast. That's Alycia Debnam-Carey joining us here on The Jolt, talking about her roles on Fear the Walking Dead, AMC Sundays, and the 100 on the CW coming back in the fall. You are in the new season of the 100.
I am, yeah.
But we don't know how much.
Don't know how much. Can't
Don't
tell.
know how much. Can't tell. Damn it.
Always the way.
But here's what's really interesting, though, is the women you play on these two shows are sort of at opposite ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
Because the gal on Fear the Walking Dead is sort of none the wiser about anything.
Yes. In her defense, no one has let her in to what's
No,
really
she's-
going on.
Yeah.
I can't, and it's sort
Yeah.
of Keith is having issues about this.
Yes.
She's sort of I can't tell if she's being kept in the dark for her protection or if just they think she's stupid. I can't decide yet.
I think it's a protection thing.
Okay, but then you have on the 100 you have Lexa,
Yeah.
who
Would
makes
be just fine in the apocalypse.
I would be, we have this thing here, please forgive the language, but we have this thing called, how every employee setting has one person, and we all say this, and I'm sure you've even said this on sets, where it's like, that's the one who's going to go off one day, right? The one
Right.
person who's on the edge of sanity.
Yes.
And you think, I'm going to be that person's gun bitch. I'm going to take care of his or her gun, right? I want to be Lexa's gun bitch.
Oh my god, that's amazing! I'm so honored.
I want to be Lexa's gun bitch because nobody's going to take Lexa down.
Okay.
No.
No, and the great thing about Lexa is she has no problem making the hardest decisions.
Yeah, she's just like ruthless.
She will just say, "Yeah, this is what needs to be done."
She won't even say it; she'll just do it, and then people are like, "Whoa, Lexa, what the?" And she'll be like, "Don't question me." Like,
I know what I'm doing.
Are you my gun bitch or what?
Exactly. And see, you're going to carry that with you. I'll be Lexa's gun bitch. I'm telling you.
You don't question. You just go.
So where in time proximity have you been shooting these two shows?
So I mean, AMC's been the CW have been great to figure it out. I just finished doing Fear. And we've started back up with the 100.
So the reason why I ask that is, in your psychology as an actor and as a person, how do you find that transition to manage?
This one's been okay because I had between those two shows we had a couple of weeks of press, so we finished and then we were still waiting for the show to actually come out, and we were doing Comic-Con and TCAs, so it was enough time for me to just go back into I guess that promotion mode where it's suddenly I'm in between shows and we've done this, and so now it's about putting on a dress and being like, hey everyone, go watch it.
Which has got to be weird for you.
Kind of, and it was weird too because we hadn't finished totally filming it, and so people were asking, what's it going to be like? And what do you think about your character? And we were all like, I don't know, we haven't even really seen it yet, But it's actually been really nice to go from a character like Alicia, who is in the real world and is dealing with very real problems. I mean, in the grand sense of that, it's still an apocalypse, a zombie apocalypse. But she, it's a family drama essentially. When we start,
it's a family
with
drama with an extraordinary scenario.
Yes, exactly, and so it's about those relationships, and I found that really. I hadn't done that in a while, and to find those subtleties with a family dynamic and relationships was just so incredible. And working with, Cliff and Kim and Frank, who play the family, they're so great that it was so much more of a feast, It was
well,
more
the chemistry
theatrical.
among all of you is really powerful.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Really
you think
powerful.
that.
I remember
Thank
Kim.
you.
Kim was up here about a week ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, what a
she's
lovely
the best,
lady,
isn't she?
She's a badass.
I know. She's just.
She's a total badass. But she's very, very serious and very much in in her craft, and we talked a long time about how comfortably you guys gelled as a company.
I think it was lucky too. Because we all came on at different times, and I didn't initially audition with Kim. We kind of fell into the project then at different times, and it is what the family dynamic is really strong. I guess when you're also on location, you become a family more quicker.
Well, it seems like the folks making Fear the Walking Dead took out a lot of that awkward time by casting it so carefully.
Yes, and they make a big point of that too. They have no time for drama.
Well, they have no time for drama. It's a 6-show season, so and when you have a 6-show season, you're gonna go in and get it done.
Yeah.
So there's no time for
and we went straight from pilot to season to they just slammed it
out.
out.
It's a lot of pressure though, because this is a show that people were going to watch even if they weren't interested.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And those opening numbers too were kind of
psycho.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I don't know that's so much pressure, but definitely expectation, and the expectation to deliver and to be just as good as the original actors and to serve them justice, because they've paved the way for such an incredible franchise, and to live up to that and to do it justice that's a lot of
it's serious business, and it's to go out into the wild west of the web has been fascinating, because with this show I feel like there have been as many people cheering for it before they even saw it than there were people just waiting to pounce.
Well,
and that's usually not the case for this genre.
Yes.
In this genre, they just want to pounce.
They're really critical.
You have to practically bleed for real in order to please
Yeah.
them. Because they're hardcore.
Yeah.
But people really wanted this show to be good.
Yeah.
And so it looks like they're coming back after that first experience because they were happy.
Yes, I hope so. And I what I've largely heard is people want to give it more time because the show is so different. I'm so proud of it because it does stand on
It's
its
a
own.
more luxurious pace.
Yes, and you get time to really believe this world and the community and the family, and I love that because I'm a fan of the original show, but when I was watching the first season, it took me a little bit of time to actually really get to know the characters because they are just thrust in that situation. You're just suddenly like running with them, but this, you're very intimate with them straight away.
Well, as you said, because it was crafted. This was crafted specifically to be filmed, as opposed to the original piece, which was drawn.
Yeah,
the stakes have to be different.
absolutely.
Because you're playing to a different audience, and it's a different medium. It requires a different
and you
pacing.
can really see that in the cinematography too.
Yeah.
The director for the first 3 episodes, Adam Davidson, I love the way it's shot. That kind of dreamy but gritty and charming LA landscapes with the palm trees, but that urban decay, I just love the way he's done it. And you're right, it is so different from how the comic books originated.
Well, there's air between people in the dialogue, even just the pacing of the delivery. People like me, geeks. See, I'm a different kind of geek. I'm not a geek about the special effects. I'm a geek about what your face is saying, what your eyes are saying, what the words are. And I'm like, that's what I stare at.
Right.
And to feel like there's room swirling in between all of you, air, and that's very exciting.
Oh,
It's exciting to experience.
Yeah.
It really is. And what it does is it takes, someone like me who would have a bad attitude about the genre and say, well, you're an asshole. That's really good.
Yeah.
Seriously. It's a lesson in getting over your bad attitude.
Yeah.
And being open to anything.
Right.
And congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So good. And the 100 really is the flip side of the coin.
Yeah.
And it's honestly a strap yourself in kind of experience.
Yeah, and even filming that too, because when we film that, it's just like one day it's like, okay, you're on horses, and the next day it's like 300 extras, and you all have weapons, and quick, we've got weapon training, go, 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 and it's just like non-stop.
So here's the thing. So because we have to let Alicia go in a second, but after a day,
yeah,
or let's say at the end of your work week of doing 100, are you more sore or hungry?
Oh, hungry. So hungry.
Oh my God, I love you
because honestly, you all get bounced around like rubber balls, but you get bounced around, and that will make me hungry.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
What do you eat then?
She's
She's a skinny little thing.
I know, right?
I pack up boxes from catering to take home, extra boxes, because I'm just
she
like,
has a to-go
I need
box.
I take all the to-go boxes because I need my sustenance.
We knew she was one of us.
When I get home.
You. Oh my God, I think I love
And the
her.
days are so long, and they're so. You eat breakfast at 6 a.m. and then lunch is at 1 or 2. And then by the time I get home at 8 or 9, I'm just like, oh my God, where's the food at? It's definitely the food.
All right, we'll see. Glad I asked that question.
Yeah.
All right, so
Girl.
It's a real piece of information there.
Right.
That's the dirt, y'all. Love it. All right, well, look for Alycia Debnam-Carey in Fear the Walking Dead Sundays on AMC. It's a 6-episode season. It's in a good pace. And look for the 100 coming, very soon to the CW. I hope you'll come back and see us again.
Yes.
So too.
Yes.
Stick around.
Thanks
There's more to
for having
come
me.
on The Jolt.